Le chat. I get it. Hello everyone and welcome. This is the Silent K and today we're going to be playing some MekHQ. How is everyone? Doing rather well myself and I hope you all are as well. We are picking up where we left off last week at the 1st of May. We had just gotten our monthly roll, which enemy morale is now invincible, which I don't really understand how they got so lucky, on account of we've actually been doing really well. These are mostly victories here. Yeah, at least one a week. And also we rolled a special mission this month of some kind, but we don't know what it is yet. Let's see, we had some parts arriving. We had our green tech Kazuko doing a bunch of mothballing. They've got 3 mechs lined up to work on. We did get paid, and we ordered a guillotine, which will be here in 3 days. So that will be super helpful, because again, this is going to be a pretty intense month. It's probably going to be a few weeks worth of content to get through this month with all the missions we're going to have. I have actually not had a whole lot of time to consider whether or not to buy the Awesome. It will be on the market for the duration of the month, so if it does become necessary to buy it, we do have that option. At the end of the month, we will only have a couple weeks left on this contract, so hopefully we can make it. I am worried that we only have 12 million C-bills after buying the guillotine, because the armor that we're going to go through is probably going to take out a big chunk of that. Joan piece. This is... Yeah, what do I do about this? I am new at this. I do not know how to... ban. There it is. Okay. Yeah. You're also getting banned. Let's see. Who else do I need to ban? Let's see. There we go. Don't know what happened, but apparently someone decided that they needed to spam chat with like 1 million bots. Like, I don't even know. Okay, is that everyone? I think that's everyone. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, so now how do I... Okay, this is still kind of obscuring my view, so I don't... Oh, I'm famous now? Well, that's a good feeling. Speaking of people in the chat, I forgot, normally at the top of the chat, or at the top of the stream, I do shout out my new follows. I hope I'm saying this right. Carpethice joined us on Twitch, and Jay Alexander, who had previously followed me on YouTube, is also now a Twitch follower. And on YouTube, we have also added Gallo Gaming. So, hi Gribbly, how's it going? Yeah, sorry about all that drama. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Right click it. Yeah, okay. So, that was fun and exciting and new and unexpected and honestly slightly frustrating. But hey, I'll take that as a good sign that I have to deal with that stuff now. I am up to, I think, 22 followers on Twitch now, 22 or 23 last I checked. So, yeah, the community is growing. I'm super happy about that. I'm glad to have everyone here for the ride. So yeah, the Awesome. It is, let me just refresh my own memory. Unit market, it was, yeah, 6.25 million C-bills, which is a little more than half of what we've got right now. As far as armor, what are we looking at right now? We currently have less than 400 points in stock, with another, what is that, 400 points on the way, and I'm a little concerned that 800 points isn't going to be enough. So again, that is I usually buy it 25 tons or 800 points at a time, and that is 500,000 sea bills. So we are pretty good for armor. Last week I did buy a whole bunch of not armor, ammo. Excuse me. I did buy some specialty ammos for various weapons to try out. We've got some flak ammo, illumination ammo for the artillery pieces, heat-seeking and smoke ammo for the LRMs, heat-seeking inferno and smoke ammo for the SRMs, tracers, and some ultra autocannon ammo in case we end up using any of that. Not that I have any on the team right now, but it could happen, and if it does, I want to be prepared. I haven't had much of a chance to try out smoke, so there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve as I figure out the best, hexes and times to use it on. And to be completely honest, I am a little hesitant to replace normal ammo with smoke ammo, or for instance, heat-seeking ammo. If I had the habit of carrying more ammo in my mechs, that would probably alleviate that, but as it is, most of my mechs, generally I try to not have too much extra ammo. Excuse me. I generally try not to carry too much extra ammo because it is, first of all, a waste of tonnage, and second of all, it is an extra risk. So we do have this guillotine. It's going to be 3 days. We've got the rifleman refitting, which will be another, what is that? I think 5 days. We also have our Atlas in storage. We've got a primitive Mackie, a primitive Emperor, and a primitive Xanthos, so 3 primitive assault mechs. The Xanthos is almost in one piece right now. It just needs some actuators, this armor, and a heat sink in that leg. Smoke is good if you have close range specialists that need cover to close range. Gotcha. As it is, I don't think we're really super intent on being as close as possible. The Stalker has LRMs and large lasers. The Awesome, of course, has PPCs and the large laser. The Orion has the Autocannon 10 and some LRMs. Not as many as stock, because I did want to free up some tonnage for the heat sink so that I could use these medium lasers in SRM more effectively. So the Orion is, I think, the closest thing we have to a close range mech, with the Stalker probably in second place on that list. And of course, 2 archers, which the Mark III has 4 lasers, so that one can get down and dirty. The Mark II is primarily a fire support mech with the 12 heat sinks that works out perfectly for just standing still and firing the LRMs. Semi-guided and thunder ammo, which I don't remember seeing semi-guided LRM ammo on the list when I was going through it last week, so I'm guessing it's not available in 3046. I can go ahead and double check that though. That is ammunition. I was looking for ammo, which is why I didn't see it at first, and LRM. So let's see, we've got Artemis Capable, we've got Follow the Leader, but those are impossible to acquire right now. We can go ahead and, that took a second, long list, I guess. Semi-guided is 3058, okay. Yeah, we're not quite to the clan invasion yet. We're gonna work our way there, but it's gonna be a process. So yeah, we've got smoke and heat seeking, smoke and heat seeking, smoke and heat seeking. Looks like just about all there really is at this point. For SRMs, yeah, we've got Inferno, smoke, and heat seeking. Looks like just about all there really is at this point. So we do have that ammo, and maybe the Mark III Archer could use some heat-seeking ammo because it does have more lasers as a backup, so I'm a little less worried about it running out of ammo. With the Mark II Archer, that one tends to run dry by the end of most, or I wouldn't say most battles, but enough battles that like I don't want to cut my my ammo capacity by half, or even like I wouldn't even want to drop it. I'd be hesitant to drop 6 shots off of the Mark II Archer just because it does tend to run a little tight. Let's see. So yeah, that's what we've got there. We do have field gunners. We've got some autocannon 10 and 20 field gunners in our heavy field gunner platoon. And we've got some 5 and 10 in our light field gunner platoon. And again, I will be deploying those probably at some point during some of these base defenses. That said, one thing I noticed is that some of these are actually a little bit short of men. This one is missing 1 guy, this one's missing 2 guys, and this one looks like it's missing 7 guys. We're also short of a gunner for the Saracen, or it would have already been in the TONE as well. In addition to the field gunners, we have a rear echelon with the Long Tom and the Thumper. We've got some APCs and some regular mechanized and foot platoons. So that is our forces as they currently stand. And I'm expecting it to be all in. Hello, Nelly. Would you care to join us? Why don't you... Excuse me, guys. Yes. Yes, we all love you. Okay, fine. She did not want to be held. Sometimes she's a little more tolerant. I guess just not right now. So, as far as what we need to do, it is currently a Friday. We're expecting a battle possibly as early as Monday. Really the only thing we've got going on, because we can't repair the Archer, because we screwed that up too badly already. We could strip the armor off of that and actuators and replace it. Speaking of which, let me just make sure that we do actually have a spare 70-ton left arm. Yeah, we actually have 3, so that's well and good. The Xanthos, we're going to, since we do have at least some time, I don't want to risk losing armor on that. The heat sink I'm less concerned about, but why waste it if we don't have to? And then let's go ahead and have, I guess, Loney get started on these. And that'll be done tomorrow. The other thing I noticed that I wanted to do was I've got some engines that I can have probably Doodles working on. So yeah, we can have him fixing that, and oh, I guess that one's... Oh, that's the one from the Savannah Master, of course. Yeah, that thing was in really rough shape, so we'll have our veteran working on that. So that is all of the repairs. I did notice this person over here who I kind of wanted to assign here because I want Delphine to be an elite as early as possible. So all the XP we can give her. So I think that's just about all we've really got going on until Monday. So, all right. Heatsink ammo has arrived. We got the actuator on, still working on that engine. How much time do you have? You have 145 minutes per day. So that should be done tomorrow, assuming we can roll higher than, what was it, a 5. 4 days on the Rifleman, halfway mothballed the Wolverine, Jenner lined up next. I think we can continue on. It was a 6 and we got a 5, but that at least means that we have another shot at it. It will take like another 3 days, but it is what it is. So yeah, finished the Wolverine. Jenner comes next. Personnel market, it is Monday. We have a regular mechanic. We are going to hire you on the spot because we need all the techs we can get of all kinds. Maintenance on the Archer didn't go too badly. The gyro is a little concerning, but a D isn't too bad. Offset by the medium laser going up. Not what I would have chosen. More ammo arrived. And our battle is tomorrow. So let's go ahead and see what we're facing here. That is 3-4 and a Vulcan on our side, as well as some good pilots here. We've got a 3-5 and a Firestarter, 3-3 and a Valkyrie, 3-3 and a Locust, a 4-6 and a Stinger. Probably not going to help too much. But a 2-4 and a Pack Rat and a 1-2 and a Plainsman. I would have put the 1-2 in the Saladin if I'd had my choice, but they're not my units, so I don't get to make that choice. And we are trying to defend a bunch of civilian and primitive mechs. We've got some turrets on our side too, including some LRMs, a 10 and a 15, some SRMs, a 4 and a 6. Oh, that's quad SRM 6s, very nice. Dual LRM 10s. So yeah, those turrets might actually be more helpful than I've probably ever seen turrets be. And we are up against a Hunchback, a Cronus, 2 Hunchbacks, including a J and an H. And a J, I think, is the one with the Autocannon 5 and the LRMs. I don't recall which one the H is. Okay, it's the Autocannon 10 with extra medium lasers. And a Vulcan 2T, but that's a 4-6, whereas ours is a 3-4. So we're also hopefully going to have a more useful Vulcan than they're going to get. They also have Blackjack, Dervish, a SP Hunchback, which is the one with SRMs and medium lasers, and a standard Archer, as well as some reinforcements in the form of a Spider, a Jenner, a Stinger, and a Wasp LAM, which in my experience we might have to manually add that Wasp back in because LAMs, especially the 105 Wasp, in my experience tend to not load properly. So I don't want to cheat the balance of the battle by shorting them one of their mechs, even if it is just a 30-tonner. So heavy urban terrain, city high map, daylight, moderate snowfall. Snowfall is going to make everybody's heat sinks more effective, or rather it's going to effectively give everyone an extra heat sink. I believe maybe 2, I think 1. But that means that they're going to be getting effectively an extra 12 heat sinks, whereas we are going to be getting, excluding the civilians, looks like 9, 10. Our 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that should be roughly equivalent. We might lose a couple points of heat a turn because of the weather, but we have better pilots than them, and that's also going to come with a targeting penalty, which I think is going to favor us. So with 3 rerolls, and don't forget the way I handle rerolls is that you can either use it as intended or you can use it to shift a single category by a single place. So with a heavy urban map, we could, for example, use those 3 rerolls to turn it into, I forget what they're called, but like a light urban, a town, to no civilization. If we wanted to, we could use all of our rerolls to make this a completely open map, basically. And I might actually consider doing that, because I don't think our force is particularly well suited to city fighting. We've got mostly long range stuff, and while a heavy city tends to funnel everyone into tight corridors with long straight sight lines, the snowfall is going to cut down on visibility a bit, I believe. And yeah, I think I want a more open map than what is lined up here. So, but again, that is tomorrow. And in the meantime, yeah, that's not going to be done, but everything else, yeah, everything else is all caught up and ready to go. Oh, the guillotine arrived. Good deal. Unfortunately, our only free veteran tech is... Oh, wait. We can give that to Shasa. I didn't want to give it to Chris because she has the Mrs. Fix-It perk, which gives her an extra -1 bonus against bad condition parts. So in some cases, she is effectively an elite. Not every case, obviously, because some of our stuff is in better condition, but yeah, we'll give that to her, which I think is going to completely... Okay, yeah, Shasta has 15 minutes a day to spare, so pretty well occupied there. And that's... All right. Not personnel, briefing room, yes. All right. Oh, it did not assign our main combat lance to this base mission. It assigned our QRF platoons. That is... No, we're not going to fight a dozen enemies with 3 infantry platoons. I know I was just harping on how I wanted to maintain the balance of the battle as it was rolled, but that was not supposed to even be a combat unit. Like none of the rear echelon was supposed to be. Let me just... Yeah, those are non-combat forces. So non-combat tank unit, good. Non-combat mixed unit, non-combat tank unit, non-combat infantry unit. Because if I can just point something out, that unit was not even assigned a role. They were not intended at any point ever to be a primary combat force. So yeah, we are... I thought it was fair when I thought it was this platoon or this lance deploying. I was okay with that, but without those, that's not even a battle. They're just gonna overrun us. And it does seem that something that I did removed the infantry from this battle. That said, I kind of want to save my infantry for the next base attack. I think we can handle this as it currently stands. So I'm going to hold off on the infantry and also to help accelerate the battle, because this is a bunch of units to take down, and I'm not trying to be here all night. We're already 20 minutes in. And, oh yeah, that's... Yeah, no, these are not reinforcements. These are... Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to fix this deployment just to keep everything, you know, nice and challenging but not overwhelming is what I'm going for here. And again, deploying all of our guys at the end of the battle just is not gonna fly for me. So if you think this is cheating, I'm sorry, I don't, and that's how I'm gonna play it. So, okay, our Vulcan ally did spawn with natural aptitude, which is a no-go. He also has Hot Dog. The Gifty field repair unit also has natural piloting, which too much, which we do not allow. The only time I ever allow any pilots to have natural aptitude for piloting or gunnery is if they have it when they spawn in the unit. So either if we, I mean, I guess we would never capture anyone because all, the enemies are never going to have it. But like if we hire someone, or I guess, yeah, it would be if we hired someone, whether that be on the personnel market or on the personnel market or as a bonus, if they are spawned into the campaign, into MekHQ with natural aptitude, then I would allow that. But or sniper or weapon specialist. You never use weapon specialist? I like weapon specialist. It can be a little OP, but I feel like that is counterbalanced by the cost of it, in that it does preclude you from getting any other specialists, whether that be for ballistic or energy or missile or another weapon system. I in the case of, for example, Hoser, he did luck out and randomly generated on the chart the specialization, and I allowed him to choose the PPC as his specialty, but he really only had small laser. I don't remember a small laser. Okay, so Gribbly would know about this because I was talking to him about it on the Discord. Quick plug, hit up the Discord link in my Twitch profile. Be part of the community. But I've been going through a lot of custom designs that I had made from years and years ago, and so I consolidated, because it was getting out of hand, I consolidated all of my custom mech files into one folder, and it appears that the Hoser's Ride variant of the Awesome 8Q that I had come up with and suggested to Hoser, but then we revised, it seems that file got overwritten. So let me just see what all is different. We do have the same number of heat sinks. We've got the 4 medium lasers, the large laser. I think the only difference is that my version had a small laser in the head and his had max armor. I don't think it's going to be a crucial difference. I'll try to remember to fix that before the next stream. Let me just make a note of that. Fix Hoser's Ride. I also ran into problems with the Orion KA variant that I've been using, because I had a variant, our Gribbly had sent me, it's not stolen, it's just been temporarily displaced into a pocket dimension. The Orion KA had a similar problem where Gribbly had sent me another Orion variant with an LBX and I think pulse lasers and endosteel that was also called the KA, so I had to kind of shuffle that out of my customs folder so that this one would load properly. Actually, you know what? If you want, I think... No, it doesn't look like there's... It doesn't look like there's any way to fix it at this point. But rest assured, in exchange for that armor, which is currently unavailable, if you do get a chance to use that small laser, I'm gonna take it. So hopefully that evens out more or less. We do have a melee specialist in this crosscut logger mech, so I guess that's cool. Speaking of other things that are not allowed, melee master on a pilot that does not already have melee specialist is a no-go, but we do get melee specialist on that one, and I say we, it's not technically us, but it is our ally. So the Valkyrie has melee specialist and oblique artilleryman, which is not going to come up, I don't think. We've got The pack rat with, again, natural aptitude. I don't know why. That's supposed to be like a really rare ability, but we've had like 5 of them in this battle already. And into the enemies, we've got human TRO, which surprisingly, I don't think I've ever seen someone spawn with that. You have lasers for when they get close. You've got a large laser, you've got 4 medium lasers. It's whatever. Oblique artilleryman and a spider. That's unfortunate. We've got a melee specialist, melee master. Again, I cannot remember the last time I've had to spend this much time configuring before a battle. That said, I have actually not had a chance to play any MekHQ at all since my last MekHQ stream. It also has battle fists. Yeah, it has one. It obviously has a PPC in one arm, but the other fist is a battle fist, yeah. And it does tend to use them because those medium lasers are in the legs. Just for show. Zweihander, which actually, again, I don't think I've ever seen. This is turning out to be, I feel like, a very unusual deployment. We're seeing you can do more damage with 2-handed physical attacks at the risk of damaging yourself. The Hunchback doesn't have a 2-handed physical attacks. It has battle fists, so it's punching twice with 1 hand each. So I don't think Zweihander even applies. But again, I've never seen Zweihander spawn before. I don't think I've ever seen Op4 or allies spawn with human TRO. I had a bunch of dudes show up with natural aptitudes that shouldn't have. And yeah, I was right about the Wasp. So we are going to add player. That was, remind me, that was, won't let me do that. Let me try again. That was, yes, reinforcements. Brittany Piwar. 44 LAM 105. All right. Just on the off chance that we are able to capture that pilot, I don't want to take the chance of, you know, it glitching out because the name was different or something. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that all of that is copacetic. Of course, it's not a box set, it's an LAM. That was the 105, and that was reinforcements. Select and close. Can we? No. Okay, there we go. It works going down. There we go. All right. So, again, still configuring. That was a 4-4. Me. PR. 4-4. LAM. Okay. Deployment. That was round 6 zone west. Okay. Never used LAM. Really? For as many units as you're familiar with that I'm not, like infantry and battle armor, you've never used LAMs? I'll admit, I'm not super familiar. I've had problems getting them to operate normally. It also doesn't help that they changed the way they work. They used to use, I think it was 3 times their jumping MP for reduced heat, and now they operate as a, what is it, wing and ground effect, WIGE. I don't know if that's Wiggy or Wige or how that's pronounced. Um, but yeah, I'm surprised that of all the things that you've had experience with that I haven't, lambs aren't one of them. All right, so I think we're about ready to go. And this is just, I am baffled at the list of things that I've had to customize to make this the way it should be. From even before we had deployed, when I tried to make me 3 infantry platoons, not gonna happen. Oh yeah, we're not even done yet. I still wanted to look at the map. I'm glad I didn't just jump into that. Okay, so yeah, this is very much a closed-in, very tight confines kind of map. Now, what can we do with that? Metro. So we could go 1, 2, 3. We could go no city, and I kind of want to just look and see what that looks like. Oh my goodness. Nope, 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 nope. I need some kind of cover. We are haven't used Wige. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Wige, Wiggy, or something else? I understand it's pretty cool and that it works roughly similar in that you get, you know, a fair amount of essentially jumping movement for reduced heat, but I don't know the specifics. Like, I think there's a turn radius limit. I'm not entirely sure. We are gonna go, well, I mean, we could also spend one of our rerolls to move that in the other direction and see what a town looks like. And then I would want to use the other rerolls to maybe add some forests and hills. Natural features. Actually, I don't think hills would be... Actually, you know what? If they're going to be coming in from the west... And we're spawning, if I'm not mistaken, in the center. I mean, that gives us all the cover on the map, and it kind of leaves them out in the open. Town usually has a percentage. I mean, we could fortify it, we could add pavement, or roads, or rubble. Rubble might not be a bad thing to add either. Kind of screw them up and slow them down. Do you know what though? I feel like that's enough of a drastic change to the map that it kind of feels like it should cost us all of our rerolls. Advanced. Okay. Oh, I didn't even see that up there. Whoa. Okay, there is way more to this than I had realized. I've never clicked that before. I don't think I'd even noticed it before. I just concentrate on these tabs here. Wow, yeah. I did not account for this many options when I formulated my reroll rule. I think what we're going to do, I think this is the map we're going to use. I feel like that's fair. Technically, I think we only used one reroll to shift that one condition one spot, but I don't think I want to change anything else. I think I'm fine with this. Although I am curious, like, what are these, like, city blocks? 16. More roads. Okay. So, like, if we were to change this to, say, half of that, and say, okay, and then look at it, and just for, okay, so we've got, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if you include these little solo buildings. Okay, but we're gonna leave that at 16. Just so that we've got, you know, some cover, but Okay, so it looks like it's a little more broken up. We've got more of these solo buildings here. We've got 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 solo buildings. I'm fine with something like this. Need some hills or water? Why? So that the enemy can hide behind water. Actually, might. Spent long enough on this. We're just gonna screw it. We're doing it live. We have lost initiative for the deployment, which means we'll be deploying first, which is honestly fine with me. Okay, so yeah, this looks pretty much like what we were looking at before. Nice, clear lines of sight. Big old fields to the north and south. I'm a little concerned that they're coming in from the west. That looks like it's only about like 6 or 7 hexes of movement to get into the city. So I kind of want to reinforce. I mean, obviously, if all the enemies are coming in on the west. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups for some reason. And yeah, all of the enemies are coming in on the west. So we really can just completely ignore the east side at a minimum. They might be coming in from, you know, the southwest or the northwest, but they're not coming in from anywhere more than 3 hexes off of that side. So I'm going to put, is that Murdoch? No, that's Petra. Petra and the Orion, I'll go ahead and stick here. And she can cover like this entire northern field pretty well, I feel like. I'm thinking the Stalker and the Awesome somewhere in the middle with one of the archers, maybe both of them down here covering the south end of the map. Okay, we have a blip. We've got a hunchback over here, and that's the 4J. That is the one with the LRMs. Wait, 2 LRM? I thought the 4J had an autocannon 5 and some LRMs, but apparently I was mistaken. This one just has 2 LRM-10s and a bunch of lasers. So let's go ahead. We'll have... That's Wyvern, right? Yeah, that's Wyvern and the other archer. Have him over here backing up Petra. And the Cronus over here, so it kinda is starting to make me think that the Mark II archer over here is going to be less useful until we round this corner. Cronus, remind me, has large laser, mediums, SRM4. We can, I think, counter that with a Stalker. Or, you know what, let's start with the Vulcan. Yeah, we'll start with the Vulcan and see where else they deploy, and maybe have the Stalker. The Stalker maybe can come over here and duel it out with this SP Hunchback. Yeah. And I see the 4H Hunchback. Is it the 4H with the autocannon 5? No, that one has the autocannon 10. Yes. Alright, Ozer. How do you want to do this? We've got Petra and Wyvern and our allied Vulcan over here up against a Hunchback, a Cronus, and a Dervish. We've got Murdoch and the Stalker against the SP. We've got Vernita against the 4H. Any preferences? Hate Hunchies. How do you hate Hunchies? I love them. They're so versatile. There's the autocannon 20 for the short range punch. There's LRMs. There's medium lasers. There's SRMs. There's a Hunchback for every situation. Don't know how you could possibly hate them. tend to pile up the defenders all in one location. Yeah, it looks like... Well, I mean, we're trying to defend these blue blips here, and they're pretty well spread out. So I don't know if that's necessarily going to work. Battlemaster mugged in a forest by a couple hunchback 4Ps once. Oh, victory conditions. Should be, I think, destroy 50% or protect... Okay, ensure that at least 3 units survive from the base turrets and civilian units. Ensure that... Oh, every Federated Commonwealth unit that goes down costs us a contract point. That's pretty major. We have to kill half of their main force and force number 2. And we have to preserve 50% of the units. So their reinforcements don't count towards victory conditions. But other than that, we have to kill all of them, and every one of our dudes that dies costs us contract points. And we have 6 contract points right now. We should get 1 for finishing the mission successfully, but for everyone that we lose, it's going to be hard to make that up. So that's what we're looking at. We need to basically try and protect every one of these guys that we can, and it looks like this Xanthos is bound and determined to try to get himself killed. Which is fine, he's got all the armor in the world. Even the primitive one has 160 points, and is fairly well armored, being a 100-tonner and all. Personally, I'm inclined to probably maybe come over here and try and duel this Dervish or Cronus with, you know, the Orion and the Archer kind of supporting that northern end, focus fire and put some people down. How about like right here, so that we can start swinging around this way, get some long-range shots on this SP, and that it won't really be able to return fire because it's all short range. Like that. Alright, we can rock that. Oh, I forgot they had more guys to deploy. I saw something down there at the very far south end. Alright, so our team has 1 initiative, and within our team we have 1 initiative, so we are going last on turn 1. We've got 11,000, our allies have 5,000, civilians have just shy of 4,000, and turrets have 300. They are combined about 13,000 altogether, so we have a pretty major advantage here. The only thing is, for every mech and unit that we lose, it's going to cost us. So, alright, put this up here where it's out of the way. Well, I guess, yeah, make it a little easier to read the chat there. Alright, let's start with the Vulcan, because I like to try to lead with the lower stakes guys. And just to refresh my own memory, the stock Vulcan has 1 medium laser and a bunch of 2 damage weapons. So, at a range of 9 hexes, it should be pretty well, it's got LRMs. The Vulcan's mainly a distraction anyways. Oh, and they've also got, they have an Archer and a Vulcan of their own, I had forgotten. So, okay, they had like 4 units left to deploy when I was putting my last guy on the field. So that doesn't sound entirely fair to me. But we're going to get our Archer with 40 LRMs, 7 hexes from their Hunchback with only 20, which I think is a good move because we can focus him down pretty quickly. Mark 2 Archer against a Blackjack, maybe? Let me see here. Yeah, we can't quite get him to medium range. So I think we're just gonna walk, maybe? Yeah, I don't want to get too close just yet. with this archer, so we're just gonna just barely stay evasive. Hoser, that's 7 hexes. 7 hexes isn't great for us. 6 hexes is kind of meh for him, but we're okay with that. 5 hexes does get him into short range for the autocannon, but it does make us more evasive, so it gives him a 1-point bonus on his main gun, but we also have a large laser, which would be getting a 2-point bonus between 4 and 5, so yeah, let's go ahead and get a little bit evasive there. I maybe should have started a little further back so that we can maintain some range and still be evasive, but I didn't want to be putting people on the far side of the map from where the enemy was going to be, you know? Petra. Autocannon 10, mediums, SRM 4. Come in here on this dervish. The dervish only has 120 armor, so maybe we can knock out some firepower there. And I mean, you know what? We could really mess up this hunchback. That's the 4 SP, so he could actually kind of mess us up as well. But then we can kick, which would probably just devastate him. And also, we have more medium lasers and SRMs than him. So, yeah, I think that's the move. It's not evasive at all, but, you know, it gets us within melee range, which when you're in a stalker is almost always a good thing. Alright, so as always, we start with the biggest guns we got. That is 6s on the hunchback versus 8s versus 8s. We'll take the 6s. Yeah, we will go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on a 10, I mean, it's snowing, which, yeah, we'll go ahead and throw in 1 medium laser so that if we get a chance to cool down next turn, it's not wasted. Next on the list of biggest guns is going to be the Orion's Autocannon 10. That's 8s versus, that's going to be 10s and 9s, so not quite as good a shot as I was hoping for, but... And then, you know what? With the, with the snowfall, we actually have the heat capacity to fire everything. We build up a little heat, but as long as we keep the LRM silent next turn, we can make that back up. And I know it's a low percentage shot on a 9, 27%, but 12 out of 13 doesn't fly for me. I hate seeing heat sinks not getting used. Alright, since the archer and the stalker are not going to be firing at the same targets, it doesn't really matter which one goes first. So we've got 9s there, we've got 11s there, 12s there. Alternately, we've got 13s. Alright, it looks like 9s is the best we got. Oh, what do we got here? We've got, because we were not evasive with the stalker, we've got 10s on the autocannon 2s. And we've got 9s with an autocannon 10 and some medium lasers. Versus, we're firing on 5s. I like that. I like firing on 5s. Oh, I forgot. This is not my custom variant with double heat sinks, so we're gonna have to keep one of those silent. Yeah, with the battle computer, that'll leave us at 3 heat next turn. I like that. We can do that. So we've got 12s there. We've got 10s or 10s. Let's go ahead and concentrate on this one first. And actually, you know what? We can go ahead and also throw in a medium laser. Man, this archer, I'm not used to running it running so cool. I'm used to that archer just barely being able to fire its missiles. Alright, so we've got a 13 there, which is not going to happen. Automatic failure and an 11. Or an 11, or an 11. Right? That's impossible. Visual range. Alright, so we've got a single 11. Yeah, that Vulcan is not going to be anything but a distraction. Alright, Hunchback SP firing on the Stalker, hitting the left torso with 3 medium lasers. That sucks. And 1 to the right arm. So that was not the start I was hoping for. And then 2 more SRMs to the left torso. So in 1 turn, our left torso armor went from 25 to 6 just from that Hunchback. He had a really fantastic grouping on his shot, and we're going to have to baby that for the rest of this match. That is, oof, that's not great. That is, ooh, that Stalker might end up having to pull back, like in a big way. Vulcan missing the archer. Hoser on the Hunchback on 6s, hitting the right torso for a critical effect, or a critical chance to no effect. PBC to the left torso, large laser to the chest. Down to 18 armor there. Left and right down to 10. The Packrat misses, the Blackjack misses, the Orion missing everything on 8s and 9s. Couldn't roll higher than a 7 or an 8. That stinks. The Hunchback on the Stalker, hitting that left torso for another 5 points. That is ridiculously lucky on their part. That's Wyvern couldn't roll a 9. That's okay. Dervish couldn't roll an 8. The Hyena misses. The Cronus firing at a building and couldn't hit that either. Alright, Stalker returning fire on the Hunchback, hitting right leg critical, left leg, right arm, so spreading it out a little bit, but still doing some good work. 4 SRMs kind of splashed around all over as well. The Firestarter, our allied Firestarter at the Hunchback SP, hitting the right leg for 5, hitting the center torso rear for 2. So that's alright. The LRM turret on 12s didn't get anything. Enemy Archer 2R firing at Wyvern needed 12s and missed. Mark II Archer on the Hunchback H, hitting with 16 LRMs. To the left arm, left torso, right torso, and 1 point to the center torso. Friendly Valkyrie at the SP needed a 12 and missed. The J Hunchback needing 12s and 8s on our Archer missing. LRM 15 missing. Our friendly Vulcan missing. Stalker stays standing, needs a 4, gets a 5. Hunchback H needs 6, gets a 7. Hunchback SP needs a 5, gets an 8. Nobody falls down. Until, let's see if we can knock this guy down. We need a 4 to do 17 damage. The Firestarter missed his kick. The Hunchback kicked us in the right leg for 10. We returned fire, kicking him in the left leg for 17, leaving him with 5 internal structure and critting out his lower leg. So he's going to need 2 5s. He gets them both. So I was hoping to knock him out or down, but his 5 points from losing that leg, which is pretty cool. Awesome is at 3, Orion's at 3, Stalker's at 3, Archer's at 2. We kind of knew we were going all in. We knew that we were going to have to cool it on some of those guys next turn. That's why we did it, because I hate seeing heat sinks go to waste. Firestarter, Allied Firestarter built up 19 heat and is now at 9. Hunchback SP is up to 2 heat. Hunchback H is at 2 heat. Hunchback J is at 3. Alright. It looks like our team has lost the initiative, and within our team, we are going first, so that kind of stinks as well. Alright, starting with the Vulcan. He jumped last turn, he didn't have much of a shot. We can be just as evasive and get a lot closer like that, or we can still be just as evasive and kind of maybe threaten this hunchback if he advances, maybe get a back shot depending on what he does exactly. All right, who is our next? Alright, let's go ahead. This guy is taking some hits, but not too bad. Aside from that left arm, we're actually looking pretty much fine. So let's pull a couple points of evasion there at a run. Maybe get some lasers down and some LRMs maybe on a secondary target. Hoser, hold off for now. Petra, hold off for now. Hold off. Okay, so it looks like French is gonna be probably our next one to move. This archer is just hanging out up here. Yeah, did not move. That's fine. I kind of wish I hadn't stuck him right in front of the archer, but if we do that, we could... I mean, the Dervish and the Cronus both have jump jets, right? Yeah. So, like, if we if we were, for example, to try to move here, either one or both of them could get behind us, which is not really cool. So I think I'm going to try and do something like that. Kind of the same move that I'm doing with the Vulcan, hoping that Hunchback turns his back to us. Alright. Hoser, I'd like for you to see where that Hunchback goes first. If I can't think of anything else, I might just have you back up and try to keep your distance. The Orion was attacking the Dervish, but didn't really accomplish anything, so not too invested in that. This Cronus, however, not too evasive with a mod of 2. Kind of just got up in our face. I mean, if we just stand there and blast him, we should end up pretty decent. I'm pretty sure we're the better pilot, the better shot, so, like, and we have more guns. So that is the Awesome and the Stalker. Now, let me just check something real quick. Yeah, oh, that sucks so much. I'm not happy with what happens to that left torso. We have so much armor and they just concentrated all of their shots in that one location. The odds of that, I think, were just astronomically small. So we're going to see what they do. Meanwhile, Hoser's going to back up. It's 1 point of evasion. It's 1 point of penalty. It's a conservative move, but I think it's the right one. And of course, he still has not moved this bloody SP. So I think what we're actually going to do... I'm glad you approve. I'd hate to think that I was doing something and you were like, no, don't do that. That's the worst thing you could do, you know? So I think what we're going to do... It's only 1 point of evasion on a run, which I'm not really okay with, generally speaking, but it lets us back tank if anything comes over here. The only thing potentially shooting us at the front would be these two. And this guy's already kind of wounded. I'm really worried about that left torso. Actually, if we did that, this guy could just walk over here. Again, I'm not wild about the idea. I'm actually really worried they're going to blow up the ammo in the stalker, but I don't want to pull it out of the fight yet. It's just too much of an asset. Alright, Plainsman needs a bunch of 2s, gets a 4, a 5, and a 6. Is he... He's on top of the building? It's an 83 CF building, so we'd have to do 34 points of damage to topple it. And it'd only fall 1 hex. On the other hand... Alright, conjecturing aside, so we've got a 6 on him because he has partial cover versus a 7 on the blackjack. And this building is pretty tough, 61. But like if we can nail that set or torso a couple more times, we'd really mess him up. And on a 6, I kind of feel like we could probably do that. And every one of those that hits is 10 points, except for the large laser, of course. And a 6 is maybe not your best odds of hitting, but like it's pretty good. I'm expecting to hit with at least 2 or 3 shots out of that. We've got 6s on the Cronus. We'll go ahead and take all of those. The LRM, maybe if we can find a good shot, but it doesn't look like we can. So this will be our cooldown turn. We'll end with 0 heat, which is fine. The Stalker, yeah, he's coming straight at our left side, and he needs 9s. So hopefully he doesn't get too lucky. So we've got 10s, that's going to be 12s, and 10s. So that would be 10s on him, which is not great. Oh dang, he's left arm only, huh? 6s though. Or it would be 8s if we made him our secondary target. So let's just go 6, 6. We'll take a 9. I thought the SRMs were on the arm as well. I mean, it's the best shots we've got on 6s and 9s. It's better than 10s. That's not even 7 heat sinks being wasted. That's 11 because of the battle computer, or the combat computer. So we've got, what is it, 2 6s and a 9? 2 6s and a 9 versus 4 10s. I still think it's our best option. Not wild about it. I really don't love it. That's height 4, that's height 6. I mean, we might as well throw some stuff at this and try to knock it down, try to clear a path. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking we're going to destroy our own base, and I'm thinking it's not worth victory points. But also, if I take that down, like it would give us a clear shot at him, but it would also give him a clear path out. So I think for that reason alone, I'm going to hold off. We'll take the 6s and 9s, but I'm not happy about it. And now we've got the Mark III Archer on 8s. Actually, we do more with a punch than we do with the medium lasers, so I'll do 2 medium lasers. 14s, 12s. It's not great, but we might get lucky. And then we've got 2 punches as well, which helps, I think. It's not great, but it helps. So over here we've got 11s on him, and I think that's also going to be 11s. Or we've got 13s or 9s. I think I'll take the 9s. It's the best shot we got, I think. And then, of course, the Vulcan, which has basically no real damage output capability, has 9s versus 7s. I'll take the 7 and a 9. I guess we'll take the 10 and another 9. I'm not a fan of Vulcans, to be honest. Just too many little plinky damages. Only the one medium laser with any solid hitting power. Alright, so Hoser hitting the Hunchback in the center torso, nice, and the center torso again for an engine hit, going internal on the left torso and taking the right arm down to 6 armor. So, way to go. Nice shooting there. And with partial cover, didn't get a single leg hit. That is phenomenal shooting. The odds of that happening were really slim. A Vulcan variant with a plasma rifle. See, that would be a huge improvement over a medium laser, a machine gun, a flamer, and an autocannon too. I will defend the autocannon 5 until my dying breath. I know it's not a popular weapon, but I've run the numbers and I'm convinced it's not that bad. I do not hold that opinion of the autocannon 2. It is just not enough damage for the investment. 6 tons. You could get 30 damage worth of medium lasers for that tonnage, but no, it's 2 damage. I hate autocannon 2s. I'm not saying it's not without its use. There is a specific time and a place where an autocannon 2 is useful, and that is, when you're like 30 hexes away, and it's the only thing that'll hit. And you might even get lucky. You might even roll, a 12, and then a 12, and then a 12, and then a 12, and blow someone's head off, Or one of those would have to be a 2 for the floating crit, but you know what I mean. But the odds are just overwhelmingly against it being more useful than any equivalent tonnage of weapons in any situation. I'm not a fan of the autocannon 2. I agree, yes. I'm glad we're on the same page. Alright, so the enemy Vulcan, at least, is just as useless as ours. Missing on 12s and 11s. Our Orion hitting the Cronus in the left arm for 15 damage, but sadly missing the other laser and the SRM. SRM 4 turret on the SP Hunchback hitting with actually 8 SRMs, so that's most of the way to a PSR already. And that is actually all of his SRMs, so that's cool. And those were back shots, went internal on the center torso rear, stripping the left torso and the right torso rear. So that SP is really hurting right now. Since this is also the one that got kicked, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, he's internal in a bunch of places right now. He returned fire on the stalker, hitting the right arm, right torso, left arm, left torso, making me nervous. And costing us an edge to avoid that that head hit, which I would have saved that for the crit location roll that hits our ammo, but this isn't tabletop. So yeah, internal on the left torso, making me nervous. Plainsman on the 4J, hitting 3 SRMs to the right arm, right leg, left torso, rear. Pack Rat on the 4SP, hitting the left leg, down to 3 structure there. With a +3 bonus. Why does a Pack Rat get a +3 on its cluster roll, I wonder? Oh, Sandblaster. Yeah, cool. Alright, so Pack Rat landing 6 SRMs on the SP. That's going to force a PSR for sure, because he had already taken 16. The Hunchback 4H hitting Hoser with the Autocannon 10 to the right torso. 2 medium lasers to the center torso and left arm, and you can't blame me for that because you said you would have made the same move. Stalker at the SP, hitting the left arm, left torso, center torso, right torso. So that is another 20 points of damage, which is cool, and Like, the lasers were likely to hit. The LRM on a 9, I'm surprised all 10 missiles hit. So that's an additional +1 to his PSR, because we do play cumulative. Medium laser is too good, though, yes. Medium laser is, numerically speaking, the best inner sphere weapon, I want to say, in all eras. The humble medium laser, just that 1 ton, 3 heat, 5 damage, it's just a great ratio. Everything else is either heavier or, you know, more heat or just whatever. Anyway, the Blackjack landing an autocannon on the Archer to the left arm, no big deal. The Archer at the Hunchback J, hitting the left arm, the right torso, missing the Cronus on 12s, not surprising. Friendly Locust on the 4J, hitting the medium laser to the center torso, machine gun to the right arm. Even if it did 4 damage, it's still more efficient than anything else. The main culprit is the double heat sink. Even with single heat sinks, I contend that the medium laser is more effective pound for pound than anything else. Because it's 1 ton and 3 heat, so that's, including heat sinks, that's 4 tons for 5 damage. And that's, I mean, other than the small laser and the machine gun, you just don't get that kind of ratio with anything, and those only have an effective range of like 2 hexes. At that point, you're just better off punching and kicking. Unless you use them en masse. Massed small lasers and massed machine guns can be highly effective, but if you've just got 1 or 2 of them, I'd just rather have the armor or another heatsink or something. Cronus landing a large laser to the right leg of the Orion, down to 24 armor there. Archer on the Blackjack hitting with 12 LRMs to the right arm and right leg. LRM turret on the Hunchback landing 6 more missiles. So yeah, he's going to have at least, I think, a +2 on his PSR. Maybe a +3? I lost count. Left arm, center torso, rear going internal. Burst option. That's an optional rule that I don't usually play with. And also heavy machine guns are above level 2, so I don't usually play level 3 rules. Heavy machine guns are not part of my normal like circle of battle tech. But would you say it's more powerful, more efficient than a medium laser? Serious question. I do want to know. If it is, then I think I have a new favorite weapon. The Dervish firing on the crosscut. So our civilian mechs are taking damage. That's the right arm for 5, left arm for 2, right torso, left torso for 2 each. So that crosscut does not have much armor. He needs to get out of combat. He needs to be running towards the east side of the map. What are you doing? Finally, Firestarter firing on the Dervish and missing. Even without his heat penalty, he still would have missed because he couldn't roll higher than a 7. Our friendly Vulcan hitting the Hunchback in the center torso with a medium laser, flamer to the right torso, machine gun to the left torso. So 9 damage out of a Vulcan is a good job for him. Slapping cheeks. The 4J on the Archer landing a medium laser to the left arm. LRM 15 turret missing on a 5. Friendly Valkyrie on the SP hitting the head for 5. Left arm critting out that shoulder and the lower arm, so he's not going to be any good at punching with that anymore. And I believe he also has 2 lasers that are now going to be affected by that shoulder hit. And maybe the lower arm? I forget. Archer missing. Oh no, Hoser. Needed a 5 to stay standing, rolled a 3, taking 8 to the arms. Did avoid pilot damage, so that's something at least. Stalker needs a 4, gets a 7. Hunchback needs a 5, gets a 7. The 4H needs a 5. The SP needs an 8 because he did have a +3 mod, but he does get the +8. I want to play a campaign with all 3145 and experimental tech, but no double heat sinks. Interesting. Ballistics become viable. All the old AC2 mechs can swap them for light AC5s. That is an interesting thought. Like, just kind of like an alternate universe where double heat sinks were never a thing. The light AC5 should be a 3025 option. What is the downside to a light AC5? I understand that it weighs less, but it does the same damage, right? And it has the same range, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not an expert, but I mean, well, if there's no downside, then why wouldn't you replace every autocannon 2 or 5 with a light autocannon 5? Do not have special ammo and severely less range. Like, I would have to look into that. Okay, the range of a large laser, yeah, that's, I would not say severely less range. That's 1 out of each range bracket. 3 hexes total, but one of those hexes is at a +2 and the other one's at a +4. And they do have special ammo. Okay. Alright, we're gonna punch this guy on 6s. We're going to kick this guy on a 4. Alright, Archer punches the Hunchback in the head for the kill. Nice, because he had already taken a medium laser. So that is outstanding. That is 1 Hunchback down out of, what, 3, 4? There was the H, the J, the SP. I feel like I'm missing one. Hunchback missing his kick on a 5, got a 3. Cronus missing the Orion, needed a 6, got a 5. Orion returning the kick on the Cronus, 15 to the left leg, knocking him down. He takes 5 to the left torso and 1 to the center torso. Cronus doesn't avoid damage, needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets a 4. And then the Dervish also got kicked, needs a 4, gets an 8. Step away 1 second and that was not the same Hunchback. That was the one on the north side, the one that Wyvern was punching at. But no, I didn't throw your mech on the ground. You're the one who failed your roll. All you needed was a 5. Alright. Hoser is at 2 heat. Archer Mark II is at 2 heat. Firestarter is at 5, so at least he's being a little more sensible now. None of those. The Cronus is at 3. The Hunchback H is the one I was forgetting. It was at 9. So they still have the H, the SP, the J is dead. I guess there were only 3. I'm mistaken. They can take special ammo, which now makes me wondering what's going on with my Mega Mech Lab. It might be that Mega Mech Lab doesn't allow you to assign special ammo bins to it, but then you're able to assign special ammo to a standard bin once you're in a lobby. Could be. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just suggesting a possibility because I don't know one way or the other. Our team has lost the initiative, but within our team, we're not bad. We're 6. The turrets are going after us, but, you know, you might need to have the right technology level selected. Okay, good advice. Okay. Yeah, a lot of ammo types weren't available to me because we're in 3046 still. All right, so we've lost 4% and change of our forces. Civilian units have lost less than 1%, which is lovely. I am a little worried about, what was it, the crosscut taking some damage. Base turrets are at full. They're down to 57 on their main force, and they've lost almost 11% of their secondary force. And we've still got 3 turns before their reinforcements show up. All right, it's nice to see them moving before us too. Like that is a welcome change. As always, starting with the Vulcan over here. Let's see, that gives us 6 hexes from the archer. That gives us 7 hexes moved. He could technically run up and try to kick us or something, but I don't think he's going to. So we're under his minimum range. We're at medium for our medium laser. We're at short for the autocannon, for what that's worth. 4v4 game? 2v2. I mean, I'm down. Scheduling might be an issue. Speaking of which, I do have a job interview on Tuesday, so we will see how that's going. I have asked specifically for Thursdays off, but I may have to reschedule Fridays or something like that. We'll see. I'll try to keep Fridays free, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that my schedule may be changing. I'm gonna be as firm as I can on Thursdays, though. You know, without like sacrificing the possibility of getting the job. Yes, we will need a 4 to get up, which is highly likely, and then we will get back attacks on it. Medium lasers should do it. I appreciate that. It would be an automotive job as a technician, which is what I have basically the most experience doing. I've had technical kind of jobs pretty much my whole life. I've worked on tanks, I've worked on boats, I've worked on water pumps at a water park one summer. That was fun, actually. But mostly cars is what I've worked on, and that's what this would be. Secretly new processor at the Silent Green factory? No, I would never. 6 hexes from the blackjack. That gives us medium range on the lasers. Barely within... Let's see here. What can we do? We've got those LRMs. It makes sense to me to try to use them. But how can we get exactly 7 hexes away from this guy? We would need to close 2 hexes. It's a walk. It's not evasive at all, but it's long range for his lasers. The only thing else he has is autocannon 2s. Yeah, I like that. It's not evasive, but we can take the hit if it lands. I feel like Silent Green is one of those references that hasn't gone out of style yet. I feel like enough people, even young people, know or are at least familiar with the reference, even if they've never seen the movie. To be honest, I've actually not seen the movie. I just know it from references. Alright. Murdoch, you need to be as evasive as possible and keep that left side protected. So if we do that, our left side is over here, where there is no one. That gives us 1 point of evasion, and it gives us a chance to bring all of our guns to bear. I like it. Watch, we still take a hit to the left torso and blow up. Harry Harrison book makes room. Make room, make room. I like the movie and the book. It's like The Sixth Sense, basically impossible not to know it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there is actually a food product in the real world called Soylent. My brother used to be, not the brother I've spoken about before, my younger brother, actually was a big fan of Soylent. It's like a meal replacement kind of thing. And, like, it's a thing. Like, that tripped me out. I was like, wait, you're for real eating a thing called Soylent? He's like, yeah, it's good for you. And I was like, there's no way it's good for you. Oh, the Cronus stood up but didn't do anything else. We're just gonna stand here and wail on him. Harry Harrison. Has he written anything else I might have heard of? Because I don't recognize the name, but I feel like that was such an iconic book that Like, he probably has other stuff, right? Pretty awful, not only in taste, but nutritious supplement is dubious. Lots of books. Okay, well, you know what? I am going to make a note to at least check out his Wikipedia article and see if there's anything else I've heard of. Stainless steel rat? I don't follow. Oh, one of his other books, I guess. Alright, awesome needed 4, got a 7. Plainsman needs a bunch of 2s. Cronus fell, took 6 to the left leg and torso, stripping his leg. Takes his 2nd point of damage, and then succeeds in getting up on the Xanthos. Xanthos is unbalanced. I did not know that. But anyway, he needed a 2, he get a 5. I did not know that the Xanthos was unbalanced. That actually makes me kind of reconsider using it. Wait. Yeah, I definitely need to Google that. Now that you mention it, stainless steel rat does actually kind of ring a bell. Alright, Hoser. We're gonna start by torso twisting. We're going to follow that with all of the lasers. That is 6s into his back. And yes, the small laser as well, because it's snowing and we can. And then we've got 7s versus 10s. We're actually gonna take that back. We are gonna save the right arm so that we can punch, because we're gonna be kicking. We'll go 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6. Or, I mean, that's 5 heat. But I kind of really, yeah, we're just gonna do pretty much everything but that right arm PPC. Old-fashioned space action stories, easy reading. Asimov, yeah, Asimov is good. Wait, they're doing a TV version of Foundation? I have not heard that. I was actually a real big fan of those. I read a lot of Asimov when I was in high school, and then later in the army, and even after that. I was also a real big fan of his Black Widow Society, which was, for those that don't know, a collection of short stories that were largely, I was about to say murder mysteries. They weren't generally murders, but they were mysteries. So, interesting stuff going on in the chat tonight. I'm here for it. LRM's at 1 range? Sure. We're building up 1 point of heat. It's worth it. So we've got 9s on the Vulcan, 11s on the Archer, 9s on the Archer. Yeah, we'll take that. And then we'll take some 10s on the Vulcan. Yeah, we'll do all of them. It's only 4 heat. When will they adapt Roadside Picnic? Sort of mystery. Lige Bailey, those were generally murder mysteries, the way I recall, right? I mean, what was it? Caverns of Steel and I forget the name of the book, but it was the one where there were like 40 people spread out over the entire planet. And so like there was no one even like within 1,000 miles that could have murdered this guy, and I don't want to spoil it, but he got murdered. I remember that part distinctly. Hammers, slammers. I feel like I remember seeing that on my dad's bookshelf, but I never read Hammer Slammers. Good. All right. I'm going to trust Hoser to take out the Hunchback 4H. I'm going to have Murdoch firing on the SP because he wants revenge for that left torso. So we've got 6s, 8s, 8s, 10s. We'll go 8, 8, and unspecialized versus specialized. Yellow Rim is one more heat, but potentially twice as much damage for the same likelihood. So we'll go with 1, 8, and that'll leave us with 2 heat. We'll do that, yeah. When you trust Hoser. Now, to be fair, Hoser needed, what was it, 6s and 7s into the back of a Hunchback, which has notoriously weak back armor. And if we don't knock it down, we're also going for 2 punches. So I feel like the Hunchback is kind of in a really bad situation right now. In fact, it may have only done that because, yes, crippled and withdrawing was the only reason he turned his back to us. So I'm fine with that. We've got an 11, excuse me, and a pair of 7s for 4 heat on the blackjack. And we've got 8, skip, 6, skip. Actually, I mean, we can go 8, skip, 6, 10. Alright, I feel like this is going to be a good round. In some of the Bolo series, I started the first one in that one. I didn't get very far. I forget what happened, but I think I just didn't have time at the time. It's points aside, I feel like it can be adapted for a fun sci-fi romp, like the Fury movie of sci-fi. Imagine how expensive Pharaoh armor would be in Battletech if it was the Platinum Iridium armor from Slammers. Slammers would need to be a series, so you had time to empathize with the characters. I didn't read Hammer Slammers, and like I said, I only just barely started the Bolo series. Another one that for some reason is linked in my mind, maybe they were next to each other on the shelf or something, but there was a series called Legion of the Damned that I feel like was in a similar vein, where it had like cybernetic soldiers. What's the other one I'm thinking of? I forget. It's kind of like on the edge of my consciousness right now. Alright, Friendly Saladin. I forgot we had a Saladin. Misses the SP on it with a 2. Vulcan hits the archer in the left leg with his medium laser. No big deal there. Hoser, PPC into the right arm, PPC into the right leg, large laser into the right leg, medium laser to the center torso rear, medium laser to the left arm, destroyed the right arm with another medium laser going into the right torso rear, small laser stripping the rest of the armor out of their right torso rear. Flamer turret at the dervish hitting the right torso, Packrat missing on a 12, the SP shooting at a building, hitting with a couple medium lasers and 10 SRMs. I'm glad that wasn't us that he was shooting, because that was 30 points of damage he just did. Orion on the Cronus hitting the right torso for 15, left torso for 5, 2 SRMs, also to the right and left torso. SRM turret on the SP and missing. Blackjack on the Archer hitting with 1 medium laser. We can fix that. Friendly Stinger on the Cronus hitting the left arm for 5, going internal. That's Wyvern with the LRM 20s on the Archer hitting for 12 to the left torso and right torso. Also medium lasers, 2 of them hitting the Vulcan to the right leg and center torso. SRM quad turret at the Dervish, landing 9 SRMs, center torso twice, left and right arm, right torso, center torso twice, each arm 1 more time. Stalker on the Hunchback, destroying the left arm, going into the left torso, hitting the left torso with the other large laser, right leg with a medium laser, so that's 21 damage on him, so that's going to be a PSR. Dervish shooting at building Hex 2019, is that the same one, I wonder? Where is it? 1421, so no, not this, that's... Yeah, 1421, so they're shooting at different buildings, for what that's worth. Okay, yeah, 2019. Firestarter on the Hunchback SP, going into the left torso rear, right leg, left leg, blown off. I don't want to give the kill on that Hunchback to the Firestarter. I want that kill. The Bolo story, Miles to Go, always makes me tear up. Really? That's... I mean, maybe I'm just dead inside, but I feel like it takes a lot to make me, like, emotionally connect to a story on that level. Archer on the Blackjack and missing on 11s and 7s. LRM turret on the Dervish, missing on 11s. The Cronus at the Orion, hitting 2 medium lasers and 3 SRMs. Nothing too much to worry about there. The Valkyrie on the SP, hitting the center torso and right arm with LRMs. Now, I'm not saying that I've never read a story that made me tear up. I'm just saying that it's uncommon, at the least. And actually, I feel like it happens more when I have a visual connection, like when I'm watching a movie. Like Bicentennial Man, I remember, really made me, it hit me on the feels. Vulcan at the Archer, hitting for 2 to the torso, 1 to the arm. Oh wait, no. Vulcan at the Vulcan, only hitting for 1 to the arm. LRM 15 on the SP to the left torso, going internal, leaving 4 structure. And then their Archer at our Archer on 9s and missing. The Cronus falls down again, takes 5 to the head, fails to avoid damage, and rolls a 3 on his 4th consciousness check, so he is probably not waking up again. Bicentennial Man is a great short story too, yeah. I'm not actually sure I've ever read it, I just know it from the movie. But I am aware that it's an Asimov story, and, you know, as such gets, like, extra kudos in my book. At least I can smile at night that my favorite book series, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, has one of the best adaptations ever. Was it adapted under the same name? Because I've never heard of that. Or was it adapted under a different name? Galactic Warlord? Can't say that I do. Man, we could literally spend the entire stream just talking about movies and books that we liked, couldn't we? I mean, I'm fine with that. I feel like this battle is maybe a few turns from over, but we're putting a good hurting on them. 110 plus episode OVA with the same name. Okay. Okay. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I'll have to, yeah. I'll look for that in the Discord. Another chance for a cheap plug. Anybody watching this, welcome to join the Discord. Be a part of the community. Link is in my Twitch profile. So, yeah. Hunchback 4H falls, takes 5 to the left torso. Dervish needs a 5, gets a 10. Hunchback goes down automatically, taking 5 to his remaining leg, critting out a heat sink on his foot. Needs a 13 to avoid damage, needs a 5 on his second consciousness check, gets an 8. Alright. Petra kicking the Cronus on a -4. Oh no, the Dervish killed one of our civilian units. Oh, that pisses me off. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what happened. It had its leg blown off. And yeah, you couldn't kick it because you fired the leg lasers. It was that or 1 PPC. I will take 4 medium lasers over a PPC, especially at a range of 1, specialized or no. Do you guys ever drop into Discord voice? We could commentate from there. I mean, if you guys wanted to do that, I could. I would want to take a vote or something, and if everyone was cool with it, I could, include the voice chat in my stream so that, like, the audience could hear y'all. Again, I wouldn't do that without, everyone's explicit permission, but something to think about. Or if you guys wanted to do 2 different channels where, like, one was, like, silent and the other one was in the video, we could do that too. So yeah, Hoser's gonna be slower next round because of all the heat that he built up, firing everything but the 1 PPC. Save it for the big battle, you wouldn't need to hear all this chattering, yeah. Firestarter at 6, Cronus at 2, Blackjack at 4, Dervish at 7, Hunchback at 4. So once again, our team has lost initiative, and we are not best on our team, but they are at 6,300 remaining out of 98. So we need to get them down to 4,900. So we need to do about another 1,200 points of BV to them to call it. Starting with our Vulcan, I think, because who else are we going to start with? Just have him back up 5 hexes, be evasive, be a target, because you're not doing much damage. Hoser. This guy is not getting back up. No way, no how. As a matter of fact, I'd be kind of surprised if he... Okay, it's saying he's missing his right arm. Oh, it was the SP that lost its leg. And yeah, the SP, it looks like, did eject, yeah. The 4H, I stand corrected. I had mentioned, I had said earlier that the Hunchback that Hoser was shooting in the back had lost its leg. It was the other Hunchback, so I apologize for that. This guy, how is he looking exactly? He still has full mobility. So I kind of want to wait and give him a chance to get up and go somewhere before I chase him down. So again, I apologize for speaking out of turn and being mistaken. Alright, so Murdoch, I feel like, can back up and be slightly evasive. Maybe have a shot on the Blackjack depending on what he does. Definitely get a shot on the Hunchback, which might be superfluous. I mean, he's not going to be able to get a shot on the Archer or the Vulcan or the Cronus. And wait, who is? Oh, the Dervish. We maybe should do something about the Dervish, but we don't have anyone that can. So that's kind of a lost cause. So yeah, I think the best thing the Stalker can do is just try to back up, be slightly evasive, and keep his options open. Oh, the Archer advances. Yeah, we'll do a run just to keep our back to the wall, and yeah, I think that's worth it. All right. 3 hexes is just about perfect for Hoser. It's 1 point within the minimum range on the PPCs. It's still short range for the medium lasers. I'd rather be within melee distance, but that's not going to happen with that heat level, which I can't blame you for. That's my fault. Oh my goodness, I don't know what they're doing, but it's not strategy. Alright, and the Cronus, immobile, 4 hits, he's gonna need a 10. I feel like we could write him off entirely. And yeah, I'm gonna come up here and maybe engage these two with Wyvern. And if that Cronus is still unconscious at the end of the battle, we are definitely claiming it as salvage. I mean,
stop opening the door. You're annoying. In or out?
Yeah, we will definitely mark that down as a capture and a kill and all the other good stuff that we can get out of that. That is an intact mech. I'm not saying necessarily that we're going to claim it for our salvage, but it will count towards the total that the salvage gets totaled into, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna do the kick. We're, I guess, gonna hold on to our LRMs. Yeah, we're not shooting him. We've got 10s and 11s. We'll take the 10 just because it's that or nothing. Yeah. Alright. So, we've got 5 and a 5 and a 5. We'll keep the large laser silent because it is the least efficient of the lasers. And we'll throw in a couple mediums just to cool down a bit. What's that gonna be, a 10? No, I'm not. I'm gonna hold on to that heat point. That's 1/10 of a PPC, and those PPCs are deadly accurate. That said, let's see, what all was that? 3 PPCs and 2 medium lasers. I mean, I would almost go so far as to say that his left torso is almost definitely getting blown off. His right torso is in extreme danger. His center torso is in extreme danger. I don't think it's a guaranteed kill though. So, but I don't want to steal that kill from him. So we're gonna target this here blackjack. That's 5s and 7s. 9s. Yeah, we'll take another 7 and leave ourselves at 2 heat. And honestly, I could not wait to get double heat sinks into that Stalker. That is going to be so amazing. So that's going to be a pair of 9s. And an 11, because I'd rather take it than not. So that's 9 versus 10. We'll take the 9, thank you. And the, well, 7. 9 and a 7. I'll take it, sure. Alright, so the SRM-6 turret at the Dervish, landing 7 SRMs to the left arm and the right leg, critting out one of his jump jets. Right leg again, left leg, left and right torso. The Xanthos at the Dervish, missing on 9s and 11s. What do you think about using aerospace units in MegaMech games? I'm more comfortable with aerospace units than I am with like LAMs. Probably more familiar with aerospace than I am conventional infantry or battle armor for sure. That said, I have at least watched aerospace only battles on, I think it was Tirax channel, where it was just aerospace fighters versus aerospace fighters, and that's, to be honest, not really my cup of tea. I like adding them to a ground battle as like strafing and bombing runs, provided that it's not Princess dropping, half a dozen large air fuel bombs on my assassin and destroying it with 100 points of damage in one turn, which has happened. But as long as they have like a limited number of bombs, or they're restricted in like using them all on, say, a hex in that example, they can be a lot of fun. They can add variety to the game, and they can definitely swing the tide of a battle. I just don't like to overdo it, basically, is what I would say. I like them in moderation. Yeah, I'd be down to try something with aerospace, but again, I would like try to limit it to like no more than probably 20 to 25% of the total force. Like if it was an even number of mechs and aerospace, that's definitely where I would start losing interest in that style, I think. So our archer at their archer hits the left and right torso for 5 each. Their Vulcan hitting our archer for 9 damage to the left torso and both legs. Should be easy enough to fix that. The Orion at the Vulcan on 10s, not surprising. The Blackjack on our Mark II archer to the left arm for 5. Powerman at the Dervish. I lost track exactly, but that should be a PSR, because he took, what was it, 8 SRMs before? 8 or 9 SRMs, I think. So 3 more should be a PSR. Maybe we can knock down that Dervish from these turrets. And that is a head hit, forcing his first consciousness check. Hoser at the Hunchback. That's a PPC to the right leg. That's a medium laser to the center torso. 2 medium lasers to the center torso rear, leaving him with 5 structure and an engine and gyro hit. So let me just make some notes here. So the Stalker got one of the Hunchbacks. It wasn't. Was it the SP? I think the Stalker got the SP. We're most likely giving Hoser the H. I feel like I've forgotten something, but it'll come up at the end of the battle, and I'm hoping I'll remember what it was. SRM-4 turret hits the Dervish for another 3 SRMs to the legs, stripping the right leg down to 0. Left leg is at 9. The Hunchback 4H hitting Hex 1421 for 10 points, but not actually doing anything lasting. Stalker at the Blackjack, hitting both large lasers to the right leg and right torso, medium laser to the left arm and right leg, critting out his upper leg and a jump jet, so that's cool. He's just went from 464 to 353. LRM 10 turret at the Dervish on 10s and missing. Dervish at the crosscut, hitting the left torso rear for 7 points, going internal, critting the gyro and engine because they transferred the crits to the center torso. Unfortunately, the Logger mech does not go critical, which is a risk with some of these mechs. Our archer at the blackjack hits the right arm for 5, but I was kind of hoping for a back shot on that. LRM 15 on the blackjack, missing. The Gifty shooting some medium lasers at the dervish and missing. The Vulcan, our Vulcan, shooting at their Vulcan, hits him in the back for 2. Enemy archer at our Vulcan hits 12 LRMs to the right torso and right arm, going internal. Crosscut with a gyro hit. Does not go down, which is fortunate. He still might at the end of the turn, and in fact he probably will at the end of the turn. Alright, Hunchback 4H definitely goes to Hoser because it was specifically his damage that caused the kill. Blackjack needs a pair of 6s and gets them both, and the Dervish needs a 5, gets an 8. That's going to be a kick on their archer on a 5. Oh, yeah, you can kick the building if you want. I don't see the need. We can kick this guy. Wait, can we not? Okay. I don't know. I feel like I should move those medium lasers to the center torso so that he can punch still. But for now, we'll take the kick. Alright, we kicked the archer for 14 to the right leg. Their Vulcan missed our archer. The demolition mech kicked the Cronus in the right torso. I was trying to save that for 20 damage. I didn't realize the Jabberwocky was... Am I missing something? Why does a Jabberwocky kick for 20 damage? It's not a 100-tonner. Either way, that transferred into the center torso, which was entirely unnecessary. And then we kicked the blackjack in the right leg, so that was... Is that Petra in the Mark II? I can never remember. It's Vernita in the Mark II. Their archer missed our archer and is going to need 2 piloting rolls to stay up. Their Vulcan missed a kick and falls down, takes 4 to the left torso, and fails his seatbelt check. Blackjack falls down, takes 5 to the rear, also fails his seatbelt check. And then their archer falls down, takes 5 to the arm and 2 to the leg, and does make his seatbelt check. One sec. Okay, that's just Facebook. Sorry, my phone was buzzing at me, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like missing any important texts or anything. So yeah, Hoser's down to 3 heat, Stalker's at 2, Archer's at 4. So that's all well and good. Might have to temper the Archer next turn, but that's fine. In this weather, it shouldn't be too hard. Dervish is at 7, so that's cool. And Cronus stays unconscious, which... I thought we'd pick him up before he would die. Also, since when does snow kill someone? Like, I'm really glad that snow isn't that lethal in the real world, or like, half of the world would be unpopulated. I tend to be a mech-only player. Yeah, me too. I tend to play almost entirely mechs, followed probably by tanks and field guns in equal measure, followed by other conventional infantry and aerospace in roughly equal measure, followed by everything else, which is basically none. So they are down to, looks like 42-34, which is definitely less than half of what they started at. Let me just bust out my calculator and double check. So that's 1057 plus 53177. Divided by 4445 plus 5337, and I forgot my parentheses, so I need to make that right. Yeah, I'm showing them at 43.25% left. 205 will watch on YouTube. Alright, yeah, well, we just won this battle, so I'm just about to wrap this up. All you're going to miss at this point is going to be the after-action report and me saving the game, basically. I'll get into repairs probably next week, I guess. So you'll probably still be walking your dog when I finish here. Oh, shoot, I forgot to... Yeah, that would help if I actually told the game that I had won. So hopefully they don't kill themselves during the movement phase. But yeah, don't forget, tomorrow is HBS Battletech. So if you can, we'd love to see you there for that. In the meantime, have a good night, enjoy your walk, and if you can't make it tomorrow, we'll see you next week or whenever. Don't forget to post that thing in the Discord, that title that you had told me about. So the Blackjack did fall down, hit his head, stayed conscious, surprisingly, so he's actually going to be able to escape. Other than that, the Vulcan takes 4 to the arm and goes unconscious, so... he only needs a 5 to wake up. I don't think we can, because technically we should have declared victory before then, so he wouldn't have done that. If I had declared victory, I don't think we're going to claim the Vulcan as salvage. We're going to let him escape. And the Cronus finally wakes up, so that's too late though. You're already surrounded and prone. You're not going anywhere. Alright, so who else was it? Yeah, the reinforcements never showed up. The crosscut didn't actually blow up at the end of that turn. I'm surprised. Cronus was captured. Blackjack is missing a leg, right? Yeah. So we captured the Blackjack. And that goes to the Mark II Archer, which was Vernita. The Dervish got a kill. The one and only enemy kill goes to the Dervish. Graveyard contains the 4J, which was destroyed by the Mark III Archer. Okay, that one's already accounted for. Flatbed destroyed by the Dervish. The SP goes to the Stalker, which I think was Murdoch. The H goes to Hoser. And Teppo Vitasalo, who we couldn't pick up before he froze to death, even though a turn is only 10 seconds long. 10 seconds worth of snow killed him. We absolutely did control the battlefield, which is good, because otherwise we would lose the contract. Okay, so it's saying the Archer had moderate damage because that left arm never got fixed. And in fact, since it's Tuesday, we might actually get a chance to replace that this week. Stalker went internal on the left torso, which sucks. Only 1 point, fortunately. But did lose a substantial amount of armor. Orion took a couple of hits, but nothing major. Hoser took a couple of hits, but nothing major. And then the Mark III Archer, also a couple of hits, nothing major. So I would say that mission went really, really well for us. The Cronus did not escape. The Vulcan did. The Blackjack did not. The Dervish escaped. The Archer escaped. The Spider, the General, the Stinger, the Wasp, those all escaped. The 3 Hunchbacks. Alright, so, let's see. That is 44 million C-bills, roughly. So we should be able to pull about another 6 million and still be even on that. Do we want a Cronus? I mean, it's pretty similar to, what is it, is it the Wolverine that has the large laser variant that this reminds me of? I don't think it's the Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk's got the autocannon and LRMs and SRMs and I think there's a Griffin variant with a large laser, and I think there's a Wolverine variant with a large laser. But either way, this, I mean, that's 2 million, so we could theoretically afford another 4 million. Which of these two hunchbacks is in better shape? That one is only missing a head, but a head includes the cockpit and some other stuff. This is also missing just the cockpit, but also center torso damage, left arm. I mean, technically, we could take both. I like the SP though. I like its weapon loadout better, and we might as well take the 4H for parts, right? And that still only leaves us at 45%, so we're fine. Yeah, we can steal legs and arms off of this guy. So we'll take the 2 hunchbacks and the Cronus, and I don't want the Vulcan that bad. It's, well, you know what? If we dropped the machine gun, we could upgrade the autocannon to a 5. And I don't know, like, that's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, let's drop the machine gun and the flamer and upgrade the autocannon to a 5 and see what else we can do with that. Just as a long-term plan. That puts us at 48, which, you know, still leaves us some room if anything good comes up later. Killed the 4J pilot. Okay, that was the headshot. And we also captured the Cronus pilot. And hopefully none of those injuries are wounded and we can are permanent, and we can help Taylor Yee recover and maybe even recruit him/her. Taylor can be a girl's name. Okay, so Blackjack was Vernita. The Vulcan. Wait, hold up. I think I missed something. Yeah, no, I don't even know why I was... We don't get the Vulcan. The Vulcan got away. The Vulcan wasn't that badly messed up. That was just armor damage. So, yeah, no one gets that kill. The 4H was Hoser. The SP was Murdoch. And the J... Okay, yeah. Awesome Stalker. Oh, sure. Why do I feel... Oh, Petra got the Cronus, but that's not technically a kill. That's what I was looking for. Which kind of sucks, because, like, we got the salvage, we got the capture, we don't get the XP. It's like, kind of feels like we should. We did preserve the turrets, because I don't want to take any losses for that. The only thing we lost was the flatbed truck, and that's going to probably affect our contract score. I'm expecting that to probably stay a 6, because it should be up 1 for winning, -1 for the flatbed, which shouldn't have been anywhere near that dervish in the first place, but, you know, whatever. We did force the withdrawal of the Blackjack, and all 3 hunchbacks. Yeah, okay. Preserve 50%. Yeah, we did that. Okay, victory is as high as it goes, so that's... So, scenario victory point, scenario victory point, scenario victory point. Maybe our contract score goes up, maybe it goes down. We'll see here in 1 second. our contract score actually did go up. So we gained more points than we lost from the flatbed. So that is excellent news. Let's go ahead. I guess he decided not to defect, but hey, that's still XP for our doctor, and also that will be cash money at the end of the contract when we ransom him. It wasn't him, right? Yeah. All right. All right. So the stalker is definitely taking. Just to remind myself real quick, the rifleman is in Bay 1. The guillotine. Do we want to mothball the guillotine? I mean, I know we were gearing up for a second lance, but for right now, we don't have the tech crew to support it. So let's go ahead. We'll mothball the guillotine. The Cronus and the hunchbacks we're gonna be working on, but for right now, those are all gonna be field workshop. So we've got the rifleman in Bay 1. We've got the stalker in Bay 2. Let's see, the Xanthos is going to be in the field work. Actually, yeah, we can go ahead and mothball that one as well. I guess the awesome in Bay 3 and the Orion in Bay 4 for right now. And then the 2 archers will have their turn once we're done with the repairs on those guys. So that should be right. All right. That said, just real quick before I go. So we've got 700 points here. Let's go ahead and just order another 400 points just to try to keep pace. It is 8:15, so I do appreciate everybody joining me for tonight, and I do hope that you will all join me for tomorrow night as well for some HBS Battletech and next week. And don't forget, me and Gribbly did a battle a couple of weeks ago that I will be releasing as bonus content on this channel for YouTube, and I'll have that up later tonight. So do be sure and check that out. For the people on Twitch, I do apologize. Maybe we can do something on live stream at some point, but unfortunately the battle that we've already done I can't stream that live after the fact. So it is what it is. But yeah, YouTube, be sure and check it out. It was a good time had by all, I believe. And Gribbly, you had mentioned that you were especially shy before, but honestly, I hadn't noticed. You seemed to be, personable and charismatic and friendly and confident when we played. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to call you out if you don't want me to, but so yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. Well, I hope everybody has had a good night, and I hope to see you again soon. Like, comment, follow, subscribe, be part of the community. No, it doesn't. But with that, everybody, do have a good night, y'all. We'll catch you next time.